Hi everyone, welcome back to another amazing interview. I'm here today with our LCQ winner, SmashKyrieLight. How you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, thank you.
So first off, congratulations again in winning our last chance qualifier. How do you feel?
I feel almost as if it's a dream. Like I didn't think I would ever be able to do something like this, but it's honestly like a really awesome feeling.
Awesome. So I wanted to kind of give this opportunity to let the people know a little bit more about you. So can you tell us who's your favorite character first?
That's a good question. When I was younger, it definitely was rap, but like as I got older, I kind of like, oh, Amy's really cool, Oh, I kind of like Sophia. I guess right now it would be a tie between Ivy and Raph. I like their personalities and what they both have to offer.
You know what's crazy is I was listening to backstage actually um, during the last chance qualifier, right? And the commentators, and I do apologize, of course, in advance. They're a little bit of some Ivy snobs out there, but they were really impressed that you were also an Ivy player too. So I'm assuming that with you liking these two characters, you play both of them, right?
In this game I did.
Okay.
I started off, oh my goodness, it's like kind of a crazy story, but I started off playing Grow.
Oh
In
wow.
season one, but Grow was kind of really lame and kind of really boring. So my husband, who I guess everyone knows now is Master Sorrel, he's like, "Oh, I can teach you Ivy." Mind you, I've never played Ivy a single game before, so I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So I played Ivy the full duration of season one and into season two, and then I kind of forced him to let me play Raph. Not let me play, but like teach me Raph. So
Mm-hmm.
then that's how like I started playing Raph, and then I played other characters as mains from then on.
Awesome. So, is it safe to say that you've been in like the Soul Calibur community for quite a while?
Yeah, I guess so. In more ways than one. I played online a lot in Soul Calibur 4. I didn't really go to my first in-person tournament,
Mm-hmm.
except for like Summer Jam. I went to Summer Jam. I think that was 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to NEC as well.
Oh, nice.
So this is like Soul Calibur 6 is when I've really become involved in the community by drawing, playing like online, offline events.
Can I just say that your art, by the way, is gorgeous. Like you have such amazing talent. Um, and you know what's interesting too is when we first entered as like Queen of the Hill into the Soul Calibur scene, we always like to see like the fan art and essentially, some of the potential artists in the community. And we noticed that your art is like so gorgeous and like amazing. So really good props to you. Like you have an amazing talent for that.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So you mentioned that you kind of really got into competing into with like Soul Calibur. Um, have you been to like any locals, or has NEC and Summer Jam been more of that like offline experience for you?
I went to Xanadu one time. It was like we went and then COVID happened, so we couldn't go again.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's kind of a local. We live about like 45 minutes away from Xanadu, so it's about as local as we can get.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it would be Xanadu and then the two other tournaments. We were supposed to go to final.
I know I know that unfortunately, like with the pandemic situation, it's kind of like stopped a lot of competitors from their goals and from them actually being able to go out and play. But do you have like a favorite offline memory or event that you can like recall off the top of your head that like really has stuck with you throughout your career in the FGC and in Soul Calibur?
Mm, yeah, actually, it was at NEC, so there were a lot of international players. Like I saw Kayane and Skill there, and I actually got a chance to play with Skill
Oh,
for some
nice.
casual matches. I was still an Ivy main at that time. So like, and he is one of the most kind and most sweet and helpful individuals like I have ever met. Like at the end of every round, he was just like, "Oh, hey, be careful when Mitsurugi does this. You can do this as an Ivy player, or you're getting caught by this because you're doing A, B, and C." So he was very helpful, and that honestly like impacted me as a player a lot.
That's really impressive. When you've been to these offline experiences, right? Has there ever been like any challenges that you've had to face, specifically with any stigmas or you know stereotypes that you may have had to face, especially as a woman competitor? Um, and in addition to that, like how have you, if you did go through them, how have you like gotten through them?
Something that I've noticed is that people are going to say what they want to say and anything that they can say to protect their ego. So, like, if I played someone, they're like, oh, ha ha ha, it's nice to meet you, or whatever, it's amicable, and then I beat them, or a girl beats them, they make excuses. And that's something that even now I'm just telling myself, just ignore it, just move on, just don't think about it. It's like, as a female competitor, you're not taken seriously,
Mm-hmm.
and it may even like bruise some men's ego. I'm not speaking for all men, of course. It may bruise their ego that you're beating them because, everyone's grown up thinking, oh, girls can't play video games, girls aren't good at video games. But then a girl shows up and you beat them, they have to think of an excuse on why they're there. So just try to be conscious of what you say, because like you're devaluing our skills, and that doesn't feel good.
Is there like moments where you can kind of like sort of tell yourself like, hey, I'm not what like I'm not what they say or what they think. And are you like the type of person to get like pretty emotional about it, or are you more of like, you know what, I beat you, let's go for the next one?
um I definitely try to just move on ahead. I don't try to get emotional about those type of things, because there's no sense of worrying about it. Like, I know first and foremost I'm a player that just so happens to be a girl, so like I just allow that, like, that to stick in my head as I'm playing. I try not to think like, oh, I'm a girl player, blah blah blah. I just try to let my skills speak for itself, and that's been like something I've really been passionate about.
Awesome. Now, kind of transitioning a little bit the conversation to like online, are there any challenges that you're kind of like being impacted personally with a lot of these events going online?
Um, Personally, I think so. I get really nervous and really anxious, so it prevents me from signing up. like there's I can
Really?
see. Mhm. Like I can think of a million excuses. I'm like, oh no, I won't sign up today. I'm not feeling well, or I don't feel like doing this, or no, it's okay. They have enough people. But like when you're in person in an event, you have like this adrenaline going where you see everyone playing and having fun, and you're like, man, I want to do that. Like I want to play. I want to have fun too. So I think that would probably be the biggest challenge: the lack of motivation.
Okay. Now, with that lack of motivation, I know it's a little bit harder, right? Because obviously you're not really able to um, actually like get to that tournament online and whatnot. Is there any like thing that you would kind of say to yourself? Like, for example, what made you really sign up for Queen of the Hill since it's like that online experience?
Well, my my good friend Amy Lionheart actually pushed me to do it. She's like, "Girl, you need to
Really?
sign up," and I'm just like, "No, no, no, it's okay. Like, I'm busy. Like, I'm just trying to relax. I'm trying to do whatever." And then my husband's like, "You have literally no excuse not to sign up. You should sign up." And then like they were kind of going back and forth. I'm like, "Okay, okay. As long as you guys will leave me alone, I'll do it."
That's actually really cool. It's awesome that you kind of have like a little support system kind of pushing you just a little bit in like a healthy way, so that you could have signed up. Because look, you won like the last chance qualifier. Um,
Yeah, it's
and I
awesome.
think, if I'm not mistaken, too, it was a bit of a loser's run, right?
Yeah, quite a loser's run.
Like, did you feel nervous during the run? Like, what was going through your head once you got knocked down to that like lower bracket?
Oh my goodness, like I was shaking. I was going crazy because I have very little matchup experience with Hilda. So I'm like, "Oh my goodness, like I should be fine as long as I don't have to fight Apple Bloom. Like I should be fine. Like, and then I fought Apple Bloom. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like everything I learned ever in my life just left my head, and I'm freaking out. So like being in losers and having those continuous fights like
Mm.
really helped me set like a momentum and a pace, and just like I don't want to quote High School Musical, but it really helped me get my head in the game and like allow me to do what I had to do, like to remember all of the tech and all of like pretty much everything that I've been taught. I almost think that it was a good thing that I started off in losers.
Really? You know, that's actually a really healthy way to kind of like take and internalize that loss and kind of like reapply it so that you can actually like get your head in the game.
Hmm.
But that's really cool. I know that like as you were like playing, what were you kind of like thinking about? Because I saw you started off with Ivy and then you went to Raphael. Was it more of like you had seen what Ivy can do against the character? And so you wanted to try it? Like what was like your thought process when before you switched to that like character?
Um, it definitely was trying to figure out exactly what I can do against Tilda. So I already had like that experience of with rap. So I'm like, oh, let me try like to see exactly what Ivy can do and what I can do. Maybe I'll be more comfortable and that can secure me the win.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was definitely mostly my thought process. And then I was just like, oh no, I'm definitely more comfortable on rap. Like I practice with rap more. I play rap more now. So I just stick with um, what I feel most comfortable with and just try not to overthink
That's
because I
always like
overthink a
the
lot.
the issue with like secondary characters, right? It's like you're like I want to try this, but I need the games to actually feel like comfortable in that.
Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, and Ivy's not even like Ivy is not really my secondary girl, actually is, but I just feel like I can always go back to Ivy. Like she's like home base.
That's awesome.
So, hmm.
So with you joining like the Queen of the Hill series, right? Did you kind of have like any expectations, and did the Queen of the Hill series meet your expectations?
Honestly, it really did. Like I didn't realize how awesome the event would be. Like I actually went back and watched the stream and all of the support in the chat for all of the players and just really allowing the community to see like what else Soul Calibur community has is like it was really amazing. Like I really hope that other game like other tournament organizers can see exactly what you guys are doing and how it's impacting the community in a positive. I really liked it. I think it's really awesome and really cool.
I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. I like one of the goals as Queen of the Hill is that you can come out, compete, and actually really enjoy competing and do what what competitors love to do. But in addition to that, it's not just like going home and like basically playing and then you leave, right? It's more of like doing these player interviews, doing like the spotlights that you as competitors deserve because you're one of the hardest working competitors. I mean, look, you made it to the last chance qualifier. You came from such a long run and here you are for the finale and you're ready to like kick some butt. So,
Yeah, I'm nervous about that too.
have you ever done like a round robin before?
No, I haven't. So I'm kind of curious how it'll actually work out.
We'll be definitely getting you those details pretty soon, but it's pretty much a lot of games. And every game pretty much counts in a way. But it's gonna be a very cool experience, I think, for you, especially as a competitor. Because round robins, they're really exciting because they test not only like your knowledge, but also kind of like your stamina as well.
Oh, okay, that sounds really fun.
Yeah. So I have like two questions left. I wanted to let you know that a lot of our viewers are actually new to fighting games, right? And especially to Soul Calibur. And a lot of them also being women who are just joining Soul Calibur from like the Queen of the Hill series. And they actually look up to you and the other ladies as competitors for inspiration. What are your thoughts when you kind of like internalize that? And if there was any tips that you can give them, especially to the ladies, what are those tips that you can give them?
I think that would be if there's a game you want to play, be it Soul Calibur, Street Fighter, just go for it. Like, don't let any negative thought or, oh, I don't see any other girls or, I don't want people to make fun of me because I'm bad. Just don't let those thoughts plague you. Go for it. Find a group of people. Like if you have your own group of friends, go like, oh hey, let's pick up this game together and just be each other's training buddy, each other's rock and group of support. So I know that's helped me personally a lot. Like I have a Discord full of my good friends, Buff X, where we all talk and train and share tech and just generally help each other out with matchup experience because we all play different characters. So I think that would definitely be my biggest advice: is find a group of people, reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. A lot of the people in Soul Calibur community are very nice. They're very kind, very sweet, and I know that they'll be willing to help you out. If you want to reach out to me, I could also help you out. I might know a thing or two that could help you, but definitely would just go for it.
Awesome. And I really like that too, that you're like really open to helping people. So I really appreciate that, and as one competitor to another. So that's awesome. With that being said, though, are there any socials that you want to shout out before we end?
Just my Twitter, since this is where I normally am. I don't really go anywhere else anymore, so you can find me at SmashKyrieLight on Twitter.com. And that's the only place.
Nice. Alrighty then, thank you so much for doing this interview with us. I can't wait to see you perform in the finale. And yeah, we'll be back, guys. See you later. Bye.
Bye.